Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, picture this, because we've all been there. You're finally settled into the couch, snacks are ready, you're geared up for an awesome evening of entertainment, and then, boom, everything just stops. You are officially battling the dreaded evening buffering. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Just sitting there staring at that little spinning wheel. Well, we're going to put a stop to that today. We're going to walk through 12 clear, totally proven solutions that are tested specifically for Kiwi networks. We're talking Spark NZ, One NZ, Chorus UFB, so you literally never have to deal with that spinning wheel again. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture the inciting incident here. It's exactly 7 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. The biggest game of the season is on. The broadcast is crystal clear, the tension is just mounting, and then a spinning loading circle completely freezes the action, right at peak viewing hours. I mean, why does this happen exactly when everyone else is tuning in? Is it your internet? Your device? Maybe your provider? Well, we are going to solve this mystery together right now. Here is our quick roadmap for fixing this. First, we'll run a 60-second diagnosis test. Second, we hit the big 4 fixes. Third, device maintenance. Fourth, we look at New Zealand ISP quirks. And finally, we'll build your personal buffering decision tree.
Section 1. The 60-second diagnosis test.
Before you literally throw your remote at the TV, just open up the YouTube app on your streaming device. It's a brilliant 60-second isolation test. If YouTube is buffering too, then the problem is your local internet connection or your Wi-Fi signal. But, and this is a big but, if YouTube plays perfectly fine while your IPTV app is struggling, your internet is actually totally fine. The problem is hiding in your app settings, your device's video decoder, or your provider. And here's a really fascinating twist. If both apps play perfectly at 8 p.m., but suddenly both start buffering at 9 p.m., you're experiencing ISP peak hour congestion. Moving right along to Section 2, the big 4 fixes. And the data here brilliantly illustrates our very first and absolutely most impactful fix, switching from Wi-Fi to a wired Ethernet connection. Look at the May 2026 data from Hamilton on a Chorus UFB 100 plan. Right at 7 p.m., a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi connection suffered an average of 3.2 buffering events every single hour. Why? Because Wi-Fi signals are constantly bouncing around, getting messed up by walls and your neighbor's router. But look at the Ethernet data. 0 buffering events across a 4-hour test. 0! For a massive chunk of you, spending $15 to $25 on a simple Ethernet adapter for your Fire Stick or just running a cable directly to your TV is going to completely eliminate signal drops. That's fix number 1.
Fix number 2 is how we defeat that 6 to 10 p.m. New Zealand peak hour throttling. If your stream only chokes in the evening, your ISP's default DNS server is probably just buckling under the weight of an entire country logging onto the internet at the same time. Take a Spark NZ connection, for instance. Using their default DNS, a channel takes about 4.1 seconds to load. But by bypassing those congested ISP servers and switching over to Cloudflare's 1.1.1.1 DNS, we can slash that load time down to a lightning-fast 1.7 seconds.
Applying this global DNS fix is actually surprisingly simple, and it works wonderfully, especially for you Spark NZ and One NZ users out there. You just log into your home router. You do that by typing 192.168.1.1 right into your web browser. Then navigate to your WAN or internet settings, find the DNS section, type in 1.1.1.1 as your primary DNS, and 1.0.0.1 as the secondary. Hit save, restart your router, and boom, you've just given your entire home network a massive VIP fast lane. Okay, fix number 3 is all about your video decoder. If you're hearing the audio perfectly, but you're just getting a black screen, or if those high-definition streams are stuttering like crazy, you're almost certainly using the wrong decoder. Think of the decoder as the live translator for your video file. Exoplayer is our absolute green light standard here. If you're using a modern device, like a Fire TV Stick 4K, a Samsung Smart TV, or an NVIDIA Shield, dive into the settings of your player and make sure Exoplayer is selected. Really, you should only use FFPG if you're rocking an older Android TV box.
Fix number 4 is adjusting your buffer size. This basically acts as a digital shock absorber against any brief dips in your connection. The buffer dictates how far ahead the app actually downloads the video before showing it to your screen. So if you're on standard UFB fiber in New Zealand, setting your buffer to large, which is about 10 seconds, is usually perfect. However, actually scratch that, if you're out rural on VDSL or you're using Starlink, you need to bump that up to extra large or 20 seconds. It just gives your stream that extra breathing room to survive a temporary speed drop without completely freezing your picture.
All right, Section 3, Device Maintenance.
I really want you to focus on this number, 4. A standard Fire TV Stick HD only has 4 gigabytes of usable storage right out of the box. Once you install just a handful of apps, that storage practically vanishes. And when your device storage drops below 1 gigabyte, apps start to crash and streams begin to buffer heavily, especially during high-demand live events. So, fix number 5 is absolutely critical. You must clear your app cache every single month in your device settings. It wipes out all those old thumbnails and session tokens and basically gives your device its memory back. So, the crucial point is that a little bit of maintenance goes a really long way. Let's do a rapid-fire rundown of fixes 6 through 12. Fix 6. Restart your router weekly to clear out its routing tables. Fix 7. Run a speed check right on your TV. Keep in mind, you really only need 10 to 15 megabits per second for HD streaming. Fix 8 is a total lifesaver. If you hit a digital traffic jam during peak hours, manually drop your stream from 4K down to 1080p. You instantly save about 60% of your bandwidth. Rounding out the list, Fix 9, always keep your app updated. Fix 10, apply that DNS fix at the device level if you can't get into your router. Fix 11, check if the provider server is overloaded during major global events. And crucially, Fix 12, set your TV guide to load at 3 a.m. so it doesn't hog your device's memory right when you sit down to watch.
Next up, Section 4, NZISP Quirks.
Now, a customized approach is totally necessary depending on who your provider is. Like if you are with Spark NZ and you have one of those Sagecom routers, those devices actually suffer from RAM buildup over time, which really slows down your DNS requests. So a weekly restart for those is absolutely mandatory. If you're on the Chorus UFB network, the infrastructure there is incredibly stable. That means if you're buffering, the issue is almost certainly local to your device. So definitely focus on that exoplayer decoder fix. And if you're a Starlink user, you inherently have slightly higher latency, usually around 20 to 40 milliseconds, so you absolutely must push your buffer size up to extra large to compensate for that delay.
Finally, Section 5, your buffering decision tree.
Let's see how this all builds together into your ultimate permanent toolkit. If buffering dares to return, you don't panic. You just follow this tree. Step 1, get off the Wi-Fi and plug in an Ethernet cable. Step 2, defeat that peak hour congestion by changing your DNS to Cloudflare's 1.1.1.1. Step 3, make sure your video is translating properly by switching your decoder to exoplayer. And Step 4, free up your device's memory by clearing that app cache. I promise you, those 4 steps, applied in that exact order, will defeat almost any buffering monster you run into.
So I want to leave you with this final important thought. Are you ready to watch the big game without ever seeing a loading circle again? You now have the exact blueprint that the experts use to ensure a totally flawless QE streaming experience. Don't wait for the next time your stream freezes at 7 p.m. I challenge you to go apply that 1.1.1.1 DNS fix or order an Ethernet adapter right now. Take control of your network, enjoy your entertainment without the interruptions, and until next time, keep learning and keep optimizing.